question. Why is it that you're not subscribed? 44% of you are not subscribed to my channel. What's that about? Take a second, doesn't cost you anything. Help a guy out and hit that subscribe button. But let's get into the video. Hi everyone, and welcome back to TV Time with Chris. The channel devoted specifically to TV shows and limited series. Now hey, if you love TV shows and limited series, then make sure that you subscribe to this channel because you're going to get that content that you love and then some. Today's video, we're going to be discussing WandaVision episode 6. And what an episode this was. I mean, I have so much to talk about. I didn't want to miss anything. I've got my blog post up that I did right after I watched the episode, just so that everything's fresh. I've got some notes on my phone. So I have a lot that I want to talk about. I'm going to try to do it quickly and try to not miss anything. So let's just jump right into it. This episode, I mean, the whole Halloween theme I thought was fun. Seeing Scarlet Witch dressed up, in her odd outfit. It almost was like a witch, and it was red, so it fit her. And Vision being dressed up as Vision, like a comic book version of Vision. So it's enjoyable to see that. But sorry, I'm just looking at my post here. I want to start off by saying I felt that through all these movies, Wanda is very underappreciated. And it didn't seem fair. I'm glad that this show, and particularly this episode, is bringing light to the fact that, her powers also came from an Infinity Stone. Just like Captain Marvel, just like Vision. And Wanda is extremely powerful. She may even be the strongest Avenger that there is. But, I'm sorry. It's just so much to talk about. We see that Wanda, if she really gets control of it, because she mentions in this episode how, she's been able to kind of take over this town, build a barrier around it, get into the minds of everyone, control them, control the whole aspect of this show, with it going through the decades, changing characters' appearance and outfits, and even changing their DNA and cellular structure. But she doesn't know how she's doing it. And she's basically controlled by her emotions. And I mean, we see that in the movies, when they're introduced, well, not so much introduced, but when they really make their debut in Age of Ultron, when Pietro gets killed and gets shot by Ultron, Wanda releases this burst of energy that just destroys all the robots that are around her. We see it in Endgame. After she's lost Vision and lost 5 years of her life, she comes back and basically single-handedly is taking out Thanos until Thanos, basically tries to annihilate everyone. But she probably could have beat Thanos, and she was just run by her emotions. And now we see it again here where, she's lost Vision. She's lost Pietro. She feels alone. And through those emotions, she's taken over this town. So, it's all through her emotions. If she gets a hold on that and grasp, forget about it. Again, just going through my notes. Sorry. In this episode, we see that as the characters are figuring out what's going on, You know, from the beginning of the episode, they were both kind of confused. But now Wanda knows that she can control things and do what she wants. And Vision is coming to realize that Wanda is doing this and it's wrong. It's creating tension between the two of them. And you see it rising. And where it's going to lead, I have my predictions, but you definitely see that disconnect between them where they're not so much on the same page as they have been in the past. Um, you know, it seems that Wanda is again so caught up in her loss and her emotions. She's holding on so tight to everything that she has. You know, trying to keep her kids happy, trying to keep Vision, bringing Pietro back. She's holding on so tight, but as they say, if you hold on too tight, it'll slip through your fingers, and she just may lose everything that she holds dear. So we're gonna see what happens with this show. My predictions. I think that um, eventually it's gonna lead to a face-off between Wanda and Vision. Um, in this world that they've created or that Wanda's created, Vision is really the only one that can take on Wanda. So I think it's going to lead to a battle between the two of them. And I think that this battle may even divide the twins. And, one twin is going to be more on Wanda's side and one is going to be more on Vision's side. And I think ultimately what it's going to come down to is, Wanda will end up prevailing in this battle, but in so doing, this world that she's created will be kind of destroyed. Um, Now, this destruction of this world will obviously make her lose Vision, as we saw in this episode. If he's outside of the hex, so to speak, he'll eventually die. So she's gonna lose Vision. She's gonna lose Pietro again, and I think that this battle and this loss of Vision will drive a rift between the twins and separate them. Um, and I think that goes to the episode where Wanda's talking about how you know no matter what, families first, but families have their issues, and I think that this will again drive a rift between them and kind of send them separate ways, and Wanda will just, I don't know, go bad. But we're gonna find out what's gonna happen with this. Um, I had a discussion with a friend. Uh, I'll give a shout out to her Instagram, Mima's Decor and More. You can go check out her page. She does a lot of custom things. Candle holders, shirts, anything you really need. She could set you up with it. Um, but we had a discussion about this episode, and she brought up a lot of good points. And one of them being who she thinks is really behind it. And I looked into it, and I think that, it has some credit. And I'm going to read a quick thing from Wikipedia here. She says that a character, Mephisto, I guess it is, Mephisto, I don't know, is actually the one that's behind it. And so I was doing some reading, and there's a paragraph here that, fits in perfectly. It says that Mephisto later manipulates the sorcerer Master Pandemonium into gathering the 5 scattered fragments of his soul that were lost in an ill-fated encounter with the aforementioned Franklin. Franklin being Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic's son. When the Scarlet Witch attempts to use magic to conceive children with her husband, the android Vision, she unknowingly summons two of Pandemonium's soul fragments, which are born as her infant twins. The revelation of her children's origin, followed by their loss when they are reabsorbed into him, drives the Scarlet Witch insane. So this says that, yes, she has twins. They're actually part of this character who's like a supervillain, and kind of like Voldemort, has his soul split when he goes to reabsorb them. Or I guess you could say it's like Cell from Dragon Ball Z. When he reabsorbs them, she loses her kids, and I guess the loss of just everything um, drives her insane. And looking at that, I think it brings a good fact that this might be what happens. You know, this super villain ends up taking her kids from her because he's trying to get his soul back. Uh, the world that she's created will be destroyed. She'll lose Vision. She would have lost her kids. She'll lose Pietro, and she'll just go mad. Um, but I like this because it talks about the sorcerer. It talks about Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic's uh, son, and I think that when they talk about in this hex how Wanda's changing the DNA and cellular structure of these people, I think that that's their way of bringing in the mutants to the MCU. I think when this hex drops, because now it's expanded, I think when this hex drops, the people that were inside, who now have their cellular structure changed, are now going to be the mutants entering the MCU. Um, and I initially thought that the twins, when they have their rift between them, would end up being the earliest versions of Professor X and Magneto. But looking at this post here on Wikipedia, um, I don't think so anymore. Excuse me, I don't think so anymore. Um, but I do think that this is going to be the entrance of the mutants into the MCU, uh, and not so much the mutants, maybe even the Fantastic Four. Maybe this world that's created somehow gives them their powers, and I don't know. We'll see. I think that this is Marvel's way of getting into Phase 4 of their story, and also introducing all the characters from their newly acquired Fox property. Where I think now through this they're gonna introduce the Fantastic Four, um, the mutants. They're going to set things up for Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2. So, I don't know. New episode coming out tomorrow on Disney Plus. Make sure you check it out. As soon as I watch the episode, I'll be on my blog and I'll be posting my thoughts. So make sure you go there and check it out. www.movietimewithchris.com. Also, make sure you go to the Instagram, Movie Time with Chris, where you're going to see the little snippets of everything that's coming on the YouTube channel. Speaking of the YouTube channel, make sure that you like this video, subscribe, because 44% of you haven't, and ring that bell, because you don't want to miss any future videos that are going to be on this channel. Make sure you check me out on Twitter, Movie Time with C1, where again, you're going to get a heads up of everything that's going to come on the YouTube channel and on the Instagram. So you can check that out as like a preview. I just had a brain fart. Twitch, Movie Time with Chris. I started streaming just some games, Marvel Strike Force, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But I'm also I was testing out the waters with the watch party. So I will be doing some watch parties on Twitch. So make sure you follow me there, Movie Time with Chris. And of course, lastly, if there's ever a topic you want to hear about or a show you want me to review, email me, movietimewithchris@gmail.com. I'm going to check that email multiple times a day. I will not miss your message. And the topic you want to hear about will be in a future episode on this channel. But until next time, Make sure you check out WandaVision, subscribe to the channel, stay safe, take care. Bye, guys.